Molly Qerim is the host of one of ESPN's biggest shows, where everything is filmed live. But sometimes, she forgets that the cameras are always rolling. From mouthing WTF after getting an awkward compliment to dancing in front of her co-hosts, here are 10 moments when Molly seemed to forget she was live on air. One such moment happened on January 3, 2024, during an episode of First Take. The show was running as usual, full of energy, debates, and strong opinions, especially from Stephen A. Smith. That day, the panel included Dan Orlovsky and Mina Kimes along with the regular hosts. While Stephen A. was giving one of his passionate speeches about personal growth in the media, he suddenly shifted the conversation toward Molly, catching her off guard.
Look at Molly, you know what I'm saying? Molly was sitting there. Once upon a time, she was just a host. Oh, now she's a supermodel in people's eyes, for crying out loud. We see all of these daggone photos of her everywhere and all of this other stuff. The bottom line is this. We modify as time goes on.
Stephen A. Smith seemed to be giving Molly Qerim a compliment, saying she had grown from being just a regular sports host to becoming a celebrity. While the camera stayed on him, sharp-eyed viewers noticed something happening in the background. Molly's reaction was clearly visible, even though she wasn't the focus. As Smith talked about how people now saw her as a supermodel, Molly silently mouthed, "What the F?" You couldn't hear her, but her face said it all: raised eyebrows, a tilted head, and a mix of surprise and disbelief. The moment quickly went viral on social media, especially on X, formerly Twitter, and Reddit, where fans broke it down frame by frame. Many people found it funny and relatable. One user even said it was the best part of First Take that day. News outlets like the New York Post and Outkick also covered it, saying it made the show feel more real. And if that moment got your attention, just wait until you see the time she actually left the desk during the show. Let's go back to June 2019, when First Take was still settling into its rhythm, and Max Kellerman was still on the show with Stephen A. Smith. On this particular episode, the conversation shifted from sports to pop culture, most likely about a viral dance move or a trending challenge. Instead of just talking about it, Molly Qerim decided to show it. In a fun, unplanned moment, she got up from her chair and did a quick dance move, a kind of shimmy mixed with a twerk. It only lasted a few seconds, but it instantly changed the mood in the studio and got everyone laughing.
Is this good? Do I get sweetness?
No, that's all. You ever seen a leopard walk in heels?
Haters. How's your haterade?
Right after Molly Qerim's dance, the studio burst into laughter. Stephen A. Smith clapped excitedly, and Max Kellerman jokingly critiqued her moves. But once the clip hit social media, opinions were split. It quickly went viral. Some viewers praised Molly for being confident and fun, saying things like, "Molly's got moves." Others felt it was unprofessional for a morning sports show and questioned if she forgot she was on live TV. This moment also showed the double standards Molly faces as a female host in the male-dominated world of sports media. When Stephen A. Smith gets loud or animated, people see it as part of his charm. But when Molly dances for a few seconds during a light-hearted moment, it turns into a debate about professionalism. And that dance wasn't the only time she tested the limits on air. The next moment involved a joke that had everyone wondering if she went too far, a surprising comment about foot fetishes. Fast forward to August 15, 2024, and First Take had another moment where light-hearted talk turned a bit awkward. The topic was a pop culture story that somehow involved an NFL player's social media activity, something to do with feet. It was one of those unusual stories where sports and online trends mix. But discussing this kind of topic on live TV can be tricky, especially on a morning show like First Take, which is known for keeping a family-friendly tone on a major sports network.
He might have a foot fetish.
Yeah, he might have
Dan might be one of those. Dan might be one of those.
No, that's right. It's not
Ain't no leave it, Dan. D.O., D.O.,
It's a nice black patent leather pump.
These are like the lazy heels.
Okay, would you give me my shoe back?
During the August 15, 2024 episode, Molly Qerim made a light joke about how some athletes seem to have an odd interest in feet, even asking if it was becoming a thing in locker rooms. She clearly meant it as a playful comment, but the reaction in the studio suggested it didn't quite land. Stephen A. Smith looked surprised, widening his eyes and saying, "Whoa." Other panelists either gave nervous laughs or stayed quiet, creating one of those awkward pauses that sometimes happen on live TV. The camera caught Molly's face right after, and you could see her expression shift from joking to slightly regretful. Social media reacted quickly. Some people praised her for being real, while others joked, "Did she forget she's on ESPN?" Media outlets like The Sun covered the moment too, pointing out how her attempt to keep the energy fun may have backfired a little because of the sensitive topic. It showed just how hard it can be to balance being entertaining and staying professional on live TV, and while that moment stirred up buzz, the next incident showed a different side of Molly, as she tried to quietly save her co-host from major embarrassment by hiding their laptop screen on air. On April 8, 2024, Molly Qerim had to quietly deal with an unexpected issue on live TV, while Stephen A. Smith didn't even notice. During a heated debate, the camera angle shifted slightly and revealed something on the desk, Stephen A.'s open laptop with the screen partly visible. For live broadcasts, this is a big problem. The screen could show private info, like emails, notes, or open browser tabs, and that's not something viewers should see. It can be distracting, look unprofessional, or even accidentally leak sensitive content. Molly noticed the issue right away and knew she had to act fast.
You gotta get. I can't, Molly. It's on vibrate. Just relax.
No, it's not that. Just close it. Just trust me.
My phone?
Just close it all.
My phone?
Yeah, just put it all down.
That's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
Well, okay. Well, Stephen A., they're zooming in on it.
Okay, all right.
You can see your text messages, everything. I'm trying to help you out.
Text messages.
Stephen A., your computer. It's all on TV. Just close it. I'm looking out for you. Try to be smooth. Jeez.
What a Friday show, guys.
A nice peek behind the scenes. Back to the Suns coverage.
What happened next was a great example of Molly Qerim trying to handle a live TV issue without causing a scene. Viewers noticed her leaning toward Stephen A. Smith, using subtle hand signals and quietly mouthing, "Close it or put it away," referring to his open laptop. Her face showed a mix of professionalism and urgency, as she tried to fix the problem without interrupting the conversation. But Stephen A., completely caught up in his argument, either didn't see her or chose to ignore the signals. Molly's brief flash of frustration was caught on camera, and fans online quickly turned it into a viral moment. People on X joked, "Molly's face said it all," and "Stephen A. just left her hanging." Media outlets like Awful Announcing praised her quick thinking and pointed out how locked in Stephen A. can get during a rant. But if you thought Molly always played the calm, neutral moderator, what happened next proved she's not afraid to speak up. On March 20, 2024, during a first-take segment about March Madness and NCAA basketball, Molly stepped out of her usual role and directly called out Stephen A. Smith. He was in the middle of a dramatic rant, calling a coach's decision the dumbest thing I've ever seen in basketball history. Fans of the show know that Stephen A. loves to use extreme language, everything is either the best or the worst, but this time, Molly wasn't having it. She challenged his exaggeration on air, showing that she's more than just a moderator, she's willing to call out nonsense when she hears it.
No, that's not true. No, that's not true at all. That's not true at all. It is not. Stephen A., we're going to a boxing gym. You know how you said it? I'm going to swear for the first time on TV, and I will bust your ass.
But on this particular day, Molly Qerim had enough. Instead of her usual role of smoothly guiding the conversation, she firmly interrupted Stephen A. Smith, saying, "Stephen, come on. You can't be serious with that. That's absurd, and you know it." Her tone was sharp and frustrated. This wasn't just about one basketball take, it felt like she was calling out a long-standing habit of exaggeration. Her expression, along with a small head shake, showed real disbelief, and the studio briefly went silent. Stephen A. looked surprised, clearly not expecting to be challenged so directly by the show's moderator. The moment stood out because Molly usually stays neutral and steers the discussion, but this time, it felt personal, as if she forgot her role for a second and just spoke from the heart. Fans on X quickly reacted, posting things like, "Molly just checked Stephen A.," and outlets like Yahoo Sports covered it, even speculating whether there were deeper tensions between the two. And if that moment showed Molly pushing back, the next one revealed a different kind of tension. On February 12, 2024, during a segment about NBA trade deadline news, Molly was introducing a topic involving a big trade rumor. As she carefully explained the background and was mid-sentence, Stephen A. suddenly cut her off, loudly saying, "Hold on, Molly. I got to say this," before going off on a rant about LeBron James that wasn't even related to what she was discussing. The interruption left Molly visibly stunned, and though she didn't say anything in response, her facial expression said it all, another reminder of the sometimes tense on-air dynamic between the two.
This is so rude. I apologize. With the #1 bracket game, the men's game closes Thursday at noon Eastern, and the women's game Friday morning, 11:30. He's pacing because we have a bet. Whoever, loses first has to buy someone else, and he's just a little nervous about it. So I'm a little more up on college basketball than him, but it's cool.
Molly Qerim's reaction to being cut off by Stephen A. Smith was immediate and revealing. Her eyes widened in shock, she leaned back slightly as if physically pushed aside, and folded her arms in a clear sign of frustration. She even appeared to mouth something like, "Are you serious?" or "Wow," which viewers quickly picked up on. The camera briefly lingered on her, capturing this unfiltered moment, and social media exploded with comments like, "Molly's face was priceless, she deserves more respect." The moment highlighted how Stephen A.'s dominant personality sometimes overshadows Molly's authority as moderator, and outlets like Bleacher Report noted how, while she stayed professional, it reignited conversations about respect and gender dynamics on the show. But if that moment was uncomfortable, things got even more intense on September 10, 2024, during a heated segment about the media coverage of WNBA star Caitlin Clark. The debate had been brewing for weeks, with Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharpe defending Clark's popularity and media attention, while others felt current WNBA stars deserved more focus. As the discussion escalated, Stephen A. suddenly turned his frustration toward Molly directly, implying she hadn't supported him and Shannon enough during the backlash they faced. Repeating her name, Molly, Molly, and ending with a disappointed, "Wow," he publicly called her out for what he saw as a lack of loyalty. Shannon Sharpe backed him up, creating a 2-against-1 moment that left Molly visibly uncomfortable. Her body language showed she was trying to stay calm and professional while being openly criticized on live TV. Instead of having that conversation off-air, the fact that it happened in front of millions made it even more awkward and highlighted the pressure she faces balancing fairness, professionalism, and respect while moderating strong personalities on the show.